Right, hello everybody, my viewer, and to anybody else who's watching this. Now, I'd just like to say on my previous video, I just gave a brief thank you to my video on my take of a potential World War III. Now, everything's not so doom and gloom. I'm just going to explain that in this video. Now, what I'd like to explain is that right. Now, if I just hold back a minute and think about this one for 2 seconds. Now, what I wanted to make a suggestion was that you know, if I was catering to my audience, because I think I might know who you are. If I was catering to my audience, and I think I might get a few views for this one as well. If you've seen this or are watching it, then basically, what I'm trying to say is that usually on YouTube, when someone starts out. They get absolutely no views whatsoever. They get none. So what I'm trying to say is that this channel is actually picking up slightly. If I look at the statistics and the analysis of it, now this channel is actually picking up slightly through the general average of the views. Now, I got a few views for my starter videos, for example. Now, things are picking up, and I'm going to carry on making videos as things carry on and progress. So yeah. So if I was catering to my audience, what I'm going to talk about now is something called potential utopia. I'm not going to talk about dystopia. We live in a dystopia right now, but what I'm going to call is what I'm going to we do live in a form of dystopia, unfortunately. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. But what I'm going to talk about now is a potential form of utopia that could be created. Now, it could go one of two ways. Either planet is going to be destroyed because of the environment, essentially. Now, if the planet is going to crumble and be destroyed because of the terrible pollution, things like that, the environment, all the terrible things that are happening with as regards to the environment. The environment is extremely important. Climate change, things like that. Now, if you take a look at it, I just want to give you a brief overview of what a potential utopia, regardless of the very underrated TV series, the British TV series, a recently remade American version of Utopia, that probably apparently wasn't very good, but I haven't seen it. But the British version is absolutely fantastic. Now, if I was catering to my, potentially one member in the audience, I'd just like to talk about what a potential utopia would look like. Now, a potential utopia. Now, what we're actually going into now is we're going into the fourth industrial revolution. We're supposed to have completely electric vehicles in Great Britain by 2040, and we're supposed to have completely renewable energy by 2040. And the what is it called again? Is it COP26 or COP24? I don't remember, but essentially COP26, I believe, but or COP24, I don't know. It's one of the two. Now, basically, what it is that people are, they are taking measures, but the thing is that the reason why that young girl Greta Thunberg, the environmental activist, gets so pissed off of these politicians is that essentially the politics is always behind the science and technology. The politics of everything is always roughly, it's on an average between 20 to 25 to 30, so on an average 25 years behind the science and technology. The science, sorry, the politics is always about 25, on an average roughly behind, about 25 years behind the science and technology. Now we're currently moving into the fourth industrial revolution, which will see electronic cars and eventually autonomous vehicles. Now we're getting a few electronic cars on the road already, but it's not all happened just yet. You get Teslas, things like that, but there's a lot of electric cars that are going to be coming out on the market, but it's not all happened just yet. We're in a bit of a funny phase here. Now, it's not all happened just yet. Now, but what's going to happen is we're going to get these completely autonomous vehicles and also electric cars that are drivable. But autonomous vehicles, essentially what it means is you just jump in the car and it just drives for you, and essentially all the roads will be very, very modernised. All the road systems, everything is going to be completely and utterly modernised to fit these new autonomous vehicles. The roads don't particularly, the roads in Great Britain, Jesus Christ, the roads in Great Britain really, really, really seriously need modernising. I mean, you can tell that we're living in a third world democracy when essentially the roads are really, really that bad. Just a little complaint there about the roads. Essentially, so what we're going to see here is we're going to see autonomous vehicles, things like that, and the roads will be largely modernised. Autonomous vehicles that people just jump in like taxis. You pay a fare, you get in the car, things like that. You can even get the car to go and do your shopping for you, and it comes back, things like that. And smart, with your smart home, whatever, you order it on your Alexa, things like that, and it just comes back to you, which makes life a lot easier. Now we're also in this utopian world also going to get things like artificial intelligence, AI. Now essentially what's going to happen is there's a lot of, I don't want to call them menial tasks, because I know a lot of people, they work for a living to do these jobs, but a lot of the more menial tasks, say like cleaning, things like that, say like if you, I don't want to call a janitor a menial task, because it fills a purpose, it fills a role, but a lot of the more menial tasks are going to be like, say, a cleaning job, or even a chef like I was, is just going to be filled out by artificial intelligence and AI and robots. Now, so when you really think about it, do you really need to do it anymore? Probably not. Is what I tell myself. Now, that is essentially what I'd like to say about. We're gonna hopefully have completely renewable energy with wind turbines, things like that, electric cars, and artificial intelligence, and things like smart homes, etc. Modernised roads, completely modernised roads. But the politics is unfortunately always about 25 to 30 years behind the science and technology, especially when you live in a dystopian third world democracy. So that is essentially what I'd like to explain. But yeah, don't be quite so down on the world, because things could look up. We're kind of in a bit of a peak here where things could either go, either the world's essentially going to end due to climate change, or we're going to live in this form of well, it's a form of utopian future, as in the world. The world is actually not just through politicians depopulating us, through things like education, things like that. Women are getting more educated, things like that. I don't want to say that women are uneducated and having children, but you know, as women get more educated, they have less children. Now, because of things like feminist movements, etc., 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 they have the right to vote now. For example, when 100 years ago, women didn't even have the right to vote. Now, given all this is part, given all this is part of the whole demographic of the situation. Now, yeah, so. That's about it. So the world's largely going to depopulate to around. I believe the demographic or the statistic was about 2.2 billion. Was about 2.2 billion. You know, we're going to have green energy, electric cars, all this kind of stuff. If we keep our act together and we kick these horrible, nasty politicians out of government. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.